Hello, I just recently passed Exam FM and I'm making this video just to explain this because this was the biggest hurdle I had when I was learning the early concepts of it. So here you go. Hope you enjoy. Nominal interest rate versus annual effective interest rate. Okay, this concept thoroughly confused me when I was first learning it because the way nominal interest rate was described at first was annual. They said it was just the interest rate per year, which, as you see here, this is also annual effective interest rate. So I was like, what is the difference? And it was extremely confusing to properly find out what they were trying to say this is, because this one actually makes sense. But if this one makes sense, what is this one? And that's what I'm going to try and clear up in case you're still confused or you're learning it now and you've been watching someone else's videos and this part still confused you. All right, so nominal rate. It's this notation is what is used. I filmed this video once already and I messed up, so I had to restart. So this is layover. So I'll get to that in a second. All right, nominal rate. Let's start off by reading this I wrote down for you. The nominal rate isn't actually a useful form of showing the interest rate. It seems to be just a different form of expressing it. The best way I could see it having any actual in real life use is using it as a starting point in a bargaining out a loans terms out, as in, let's say you're talking to a banker, right? And he says, all right, I'm giving you a loan. It's going to be 5% interest per year. And you say, ah, man, can I pay that in a different, can I pay that like monthly instead? He's not going to go out of his way to try and change it to the annual effective interest rate, which is the useful one. This is what you use for the accumulation function. This is what you use to actually see how much interest you'll be paying per year. If you're paying it monthly, you won't be paying that 5%. You'll be paying whatever this is. So that's the only way I could see it being used in real life. The reason why it says base rate / APR is because apparently in finance, nominal rate has like two meanings. And I've seen like this version of the nominal rate described as base rate or APR like online when researching this. But you don't have to actually worry about that. You'll know it is the nominal rate for this Exam FM, and that's all it'll be called. So the notation I've seen used to explain this concept is this ICE of like I of P. I wish that the P was down here as a subscript, because that would be so much like simpler than trying to put it up here. When you're first learning it, it looks like an exponent. It could be confusing, but you get used to the notation. Fine, whatever. That's not the big problem here. All right, so this is the basic like relation to the annual effective rate that I want you to know, because this helps, and I didn't see it anywhere. If P equals 1, then the nominal rate is equal to the annual effective interest rate. We're going to go through this. Ready? P in all these formulas is equal to periods per year. So for example, if you're paying quarterly payments, that's 4 periods per year. So P would equal 4. Okay. So if P equals 1, that means if there's only 1 period per year, as in you're paying annually, then the nominal rate is equal to the annual effective interest rate. The nominal rate can only exist, this is important, like you only can use it as, that's a better way of saying it, it's only of use or can only be seen if you're paying in other periods that aren't just annually, as in if you're paying quarterly, monthly, once every 6 years, any of those work, and you could find a nominal rate from that. Otherwise, the annual effective interest rate just equals the nominal rate, and there's no work to be done, so you're not going to see it on the FM. Any question that you will never see this be on like FM or anything because it's redundant, but no one explains that it's redundant, and that's why this whole thing was so confusing. All right, so we're going to look at this and why this makes sense. I'm going to prove it to you right now just using these formulas, which you've probably seen before. If you haven't, I'll show them in use in a minute, but this is important. All right, I sub P, right? So this is the nominal rate. Let's say it's nominal rate 3%. We'll say it's 0.03 is what this is equal to, right? 3%, sure. So the periodic effective interest rate. So if it was monthly, right, since this is 3% in our example, we would do 0.03 divided by 12 because there's 12 months in a year is 12 periods, right? But that's not what we're doing right now. We're doing this example. So focus on this. If P equals 1, ready? 0.03 divided by 1 is equal to 0.03. This number right here, you could see it right there in the formula. So once again, 0.03 divided by 1 is equal to 0.03. So you get 1 plus 0.03, right? Which is 1.03. To the period, you put it to the exponent of the period, which in this case is 1, right? That's the example we're trying to do. If p equals 1, so it'd be 1.03 to the 1 power, which is just 1.03, minus 1, which is 0.03, which means that this, which we said before is the nominal rate, is equal to this, which is the annual effective interest rate. By the way, this I is how they denote annual effective. This I with the piece like superscript is how you denote nominal rate and all these FM things that I've seen. Okay, so where does that leave us? It leaves us with this, which I found super helpful, and I hope you do too. Alright, so let's just move on. Alright, now I'm just going to go over some stuff with you that you'll find interesting. Words that imply nominal are generally payable, compounded, convertible. You'll also see nominal just straight up. They'll sometimes just say nominal rate, and that's lovely. But this is important. These keywords, they signify nominal. They imply it, even if it's not like clear. So let me just read this for you. One practice problem gave the interest rate as yield rate convertible semi-annually. I was like, what does that mean? This actually meant the nominal rate, payable semi-annually, which surprised me. So be aware that those keywords imply nominal rate and its formulas, even if it doesn't say nominal rate. It's important to know. Alright, conversely, the interest rate is 3% per annum, period. That means the annual effective interest rate. This confused me at first too, because as you saw here, they often give nominal rate saying per year, compounded blah. But the fact that this statement didn't have any of the key words showed that it was the annual effective rate. That's something you just need to know. Bonus, coupon rate for bonds are always given as a nominal rate, and spot rate for swaps are always given as annual effective rates. Okay, this has been lovely. Hope you learned something. Hope it wasn't too confusing. If there's anyone who has any suggestions in the comments on like how to explain this better, please feel free to go ahead. I'm sure anyone watching this would love it. If they didn't find help from me, maybe they could find help from you. All right, good luck everyone.